In frenzied excitement, he eats up the ground. He paws fiercely, rejoicing in his strength, and charges into the fray, afraid of nothing.
There's a great story. Jack Nicklaus, who is, arguably one of the greatest golfers of all time, was sitting alone, watching the Belmont and watching Secretariat win.
That's right.
And he cried.
That's right.
He cried.
Yeah.
What is it about Secretariat that had such a big impact on people back then?
I think it was the expression of joy. It's pure. You cannot, there's no guile in a horse. There is no, they do what they want to do. And when you see a horse run, there's just something magical about it, and either you get it or you don't.
I thought what Haywood Hale-Broun said to Jack Nicklaus was quite perceptive, that that run at the Belmont was a kind of embodiment of the perfectibility of living creatures.
Growing up and remembering Secretariat, and him being on the cover, being called Super Horse on all the magazine covers before he won the Triple Crown. In case he didn't, it was still a story, But then he did, and to such an extent that it was just a pitiless victory, And my heart broke for Sham, because he was the only horse that could even attempt to hold a candle, and he was left in the dust. So, that horse never ran again.
ESPN did the top 100 athletes, and Secretariat was 35 ahead of Mickey Mantle. If that doesn't speak volumes right there.
How would you like to see a horse being born?
Have you ever seen
What?
Colt stand up that fast?
Well, Mr. Lauren, what do you think?
Even if you know the story and you know how it ends, the filmmakers, the way they approach that final race, amazing what they did, and how they were. Somebody who knew the story, who saw the movie, I was there. Even seeing that last scene, this when it all comes together, it really, really sort of takes your breath away, and it really it gives you the chills.
The big thing for me was to put the audience right in the center of the action. I made two crucial decisions, first of all, in this. One was that I wanted to shoot this movie in a subjective way, not outside like you're a spectator, inside like you're a participant in the race, so that you feeling, the member in the audience, are Secretariat. Even like you're one of the jockeys, you're like the horse. You can hear it as well as feel it. And the other thing was, I wanted actors who were as great in what they did as Secretariat and what he did, and that meant Diane Lane and John Malkovich. I wrote the studio letter and said, Diane Lane is the one to play it. And then Malkovich and I have been friends a long time. He's like a racehorse, only he has slightly more testosterone.
All right then, let's show him what you're made of.
Horses have huge egos. People don't realize, and they have to do what's asked of them in terms of personality and the way he touched people, and was super aware of what was. He liked to come on the track and survey it beforehand. He just wanted to check it all out, and he loved the crowds.
I think he inspired people. The horse was on the front of time. Yeah. He was a massive beast, and he was a smart creature, and almost weird in that he was human in the way that he responded to other humans.
That's why I think people love the horse and like this film so much. It's because that it reminds them of the capacities of really all living creatures,
When I hear people talk about, I saw him, I met him, I watched him run at this race or that race, they are touched. It's like seeing Ali box, or, it's a thing of beauty.
People who know the ending are in there screaming, go, go, at the screen. And you see men as well as women who are getting emotional. They find something that I think is transcendent and even sacred in what he did.
You're about to see something that you ain't never seen before.